thankfully, we finally finished the tower, but it was a little harder than I would like to admit. And granted, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. This definitely kicked my butt. So I just figured I'd show you guys what I did, my little strategy. But I think this is generally, depending on like how you finish the floors, at least from 5 through 7. What I had done was kind of prioritize this lower zone. That was basically only after 5 though. Like after at 5 I was like, okay, wow, lower zone is kicking my butt. And then upper zone was definitely the easier one in my opinion. That's just because like if you look at this, the lower zone is the one with these little, I don't know, what do you call them? Like the little slimes. And you also have to take into account the Blista dude at the top. And the hard part is that he does a lot of AoE map wide damage. So it becomes significantly hard to duel them. And the bottom and the top floor thing with this one is that the top floor only requires you to sort of understand, I guess, resource management. And so being able to use someone like Rawia and like being able to get like the tools to get barricades was so helpful. And I think that's generally how that works. So we can just like go over at least what I did for those bottom floors. I think in general, if you can do the bottom floor like so, you can probably do the same thing with the top floors. Also, mind you, I not the strongest stage 7 clear personally, but I do think it is worth mentioning. So we'll just go over the upper zone and the lower zone. I'll go over the lower zone first. I think that was my hardest one first. We can upload it too. Upload ensure this battle card will be recommended for the Voyagers for your highest points. Sure. I don't know if people will look at mine because I think mine is still somewhat low, but let's look at what I did. So this was the team. It was quite tanky. On the tankier side anyways. And as you can see, the first thing we do is place the barrel in front of the Blista dude, just because it means you can get around without him basic attacking you. Then after that, I kind of just use Afra as a means to slow down this top layer of slimes, because that on top of her passive, on top of her sleep, means that she's like significantly strong at just like delaying them from moving. So that on top of Luffy has been a godsend, just because they will just sit there and do damage over time to Blista via the slimes, just because they can't move because they keep on getting this debuff. Whenever they spawn, they have like a debuff that allows them to only move one tile, and so when you have all these like movement impairments, they can't do anything. So it's like free damage there. So that's what's happening up there. You definitely want to also ensure that you're not getting hit, because once you do get hit, you're going to get corruption, and corruption will generally mean you're going to take tons of damage when it comes to the boss or the Blista. I do take some liberties to also hitting some units, I think at the bottom where Rico is at times, but generally I do focus on the top here. You also will want to have a unit that does have knockback for the top as well, just because this actually ends up being an issue when the slimes don't die, and so they kind of slowly proceed up to Luffy and need a way to like push them back or push them off the cliff. And so that's like obviously super easy when you have a bunch of ice down and you have like with knockback, they just go flying, and it resets them too, right? So they're back in the fire with ignition and all that. Okay, then what's happening at the bottom? At the bottom, we kind of have the similar thing going on, kind of. Yeah, luckily we survived this. I think we survived it with tarot cards too, like the AoE Caro, I want to say. Well, we can actually just check afterwards. Actually, no, we can check now, actually. Okay, so let's pause it. So at the bottom, what we have here is something similar. We have like Rico and Coco. So they're basically both on knockback business. If you place Rico around here with Coco, you can kind of get like your pick of the litter, where like from here where Rico's positioned at, you can kind of just like hit the slime that spawns in front of Rico here, and there's like a few slimes that come to this right side. And if you use Rico's what is it, I want to say the hammer time. Yeah, use Rico's hammer time. You can actually get like 3 slimes per spawn, doing a significant amount of damage. I think it's like 200k damage here. So yeah, putting Rico here, super helpful. And then of course, because Rico can only get so many of them by herself, you also need like one more backup unit, and I chose Coco here. And I think Coco's good here too because this allows her easy access to the center bridge part here, and which she can heal up the ghosts when they come. That's kind of why like I chose these sort of tanky knockback units as well, because like with these units actually, you can pretty easily just like heal up the ghosts when they do come, right? Like they have AoE heal, they have single target heal, and it's like pretty significant. While Terra is strong, I think his strength comes from his range of healing, where these have just like a strong, like small density of healing, right, within their AoE. So I think that's why they're useful. And yeah, of course, I have Afra. And I guess I can like slowly go over, like, I guess you can't really see, but their gear effects at least to show you what they're running. I think the gear effects not too interesting just because the slimes aren't. I guess yeah, they're not too interesting because they're still like tanky builds. And the slimes really aren't attacking them. But yeah, that's their builds. Let's see, Afra. Wait, why can't we see Afra? Oh, because she's in deer form, right? That's why. I guess so. She doesn't have any gear in deer form. Okay, and then we have this. So it's my basic Maita build. And then we have here. And we have Luffy. Yeah, I will say Luffy has been super helpful here. Probably even doable with someone like just like any high damage dealer. So like if not Luffy, you can go something like Nydia. I think people use Nydia a lot, and they put her where my Afra is. Or you can do Akambe as well. Akambe has his AoE, and then the AoE you can, I imagine, like hit both the top slimes and the bottom slimes a bit more. But we do get that just by the fact that she has Afra has like her range with her passive, so we do get like a large hit here area as well. Okay, so let's see what else we're doing here. Yeah, we're just healing up, and we're kind of just waiting for the ghosts to come, right? They slowly do start to break our line of defense, and so when we do get the ghosts back, we actually end up being able to like clear them outside of the line of defense. So let's just go there. And yeah, you can see we're just like stacking so many debuffs on these units, or on these slimes here. Like they just can't do anything. And the good part here about this is like this little ledge here that Afra's on, is that they can't do anything about that. Okay, and you will notice here, like we're slowly healing up these dudes. Maita, Afra, Maita, Tear, and Coco. So strong. You may also want to take the regeneration, Heim of Life, I think it is called, tactics as well. Yeah, super strong to do that. And one thing to note also is once you do get these little, what are they called? These little things on these tiles, the Wraith Shard, is that like, you don't have to use it immediately. Like once you get it, you just like hold it if you don't have anyone like at risk of going to their goal. Like if you don't have any slimes like trying to reach the finish line, you can just keep it in case that they do at one point. So that's one thing I took advantage of. Also make sure you don't get hit by the lightning here. This will kill your units for sure. But yeah, this took a while. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I think hopefully this gives you at least a good indication of like how I use my units. I basically just like did this the whole time. I definitely sat Rico at the same spot the whole time, and honestly it was lovely. Like she's strong here for sure. And definitely like a good showing of like how the devs might get you to like, I don't know, get FOMO from like a unit, because without Rico, I find this very hard. She was just like so good at pushing out all these units, and really allowed me to have like more focus on my top row here, my top lane here. So yeah, super good showing of Rico, but also, yeah, having the knockbacks from Coco and Maita, super strong as well. And also this barrel is insane. I'm always curious when the devs do something like this, like, did they test this? Like this stage is insane. Anyways, yeah, I just do this the whole time. I don't know if it's worth going through all this. Yeah, they're slowly taking damage. I guess it's good to show that like this top row here, how they're like slowly getting past. We do end up using Afra to, I think, push some of these units away, I want to say. And yeah, we also do end up like having to stand by a bit because we did end up taking up damage. So like when you take up damage, you get like the Mire Corruption, and when Mire Corruption is on your units, then they're probably going to be eliminated. Like they're probably going to get one shot from the Ballista because of its effects. There we go. As you can see, Rico and Coco have been here down the bottom the whole time. Luffy been at the top the whole time. And then like, Afra's been up there for a while too. But like you can see, I've clearly been, the strategy has been like, knock back at the bottom, damage at the top, and it's been working, I think, okay. And it probably worked for other stages as well. Okay. Yeah, they're quite slow. But yeah, you definitely do need knockback here. And then I think I do show that I use my, what do I call it, faith shards once or twice to clear the top lane. Or like knock them back with Mytha. But yeah, see Afra here, like super strong and slowing these slimes down at the bottom and like diverting a lot of the attention to the top here. Super strong showing here. Anyways, that is, yeah, that's basically the stage. Oh, okay, I think so. Wait, someone died? Oh, Afra ended up dying. Oh, interesting. Yeah, she probably got hit once or twice. But yeah, you can see once the Bliss is getting low like this, you're just definitely like, okay, let me just try and clear this. Let me just try to win. I was like, okay, as long as we had Luffy, some damage dealer, like we probably can do it, and like enough knockback, I was like, okay, we can do this. On top of that, we also had the shards, so like there, you can see that bottom left one, slime that's like kind of halfway point. Like I think you do end up going against killing that with the shard. So, anyways, that was that. We can go to the next one. So that's basically what I did. So the lower zone, is it lower zone? No, the upper zone for stage 7. What did we do? Well, sure, we'll share this. The strategy was a little different, and honestly, I think the stage was longer, but just a tiny bit easier. So from this, we actually end up just like using the Rabia strat, where like she's very strong at like helping building the resources, the supplies. The only issue with this is that like we had to divert a lot of attention to the other, I guess you can call them the 3 lanes, right? And I guess for this video we'll say like this bottom here where Flavia, I forgot her name, Flavia and Nana is the bottom lane, mid lane is with Pamina, and the top lane is with Aisha and Luvada. So this top lane here, like, yeah, they can solo the world basically. So I had no problem with that. The harder part was ensuring that no one gets past Pamina because they can like wander off. She could very easily and considerately just like clear everything herself. It's just like people run past her sometimes. So we actually end up using the resource that we get from, and hopefully we'll show her soon, the resource that we get from Rabia and her supply crate gathering to block that off pretty easily and pretty quickly. Other than that, it's basically just like clearing until you get enough resources and ensuring that you don't get units, or you don't get people attacking your supplies. You also have to make sure you move a bit for some of the units that are sort of stationary at dealing damage from long range. And it's good to consider this too, but like, yeah, I'm placing a bunch of stockades here. I can show you where my stockades are. So yeah, I stockade this because this is going to be super hectic when like my bottom lane is looking at these middle units here, like these units here, like they're going to need more attention. And so I'm just blocking that off prematurely. And then from here, you can see basically what we're doing is we're stopping a single attack at least once by using the stockades here. So by having 2 of them, or I'm sorry, by having, I think, 1 stockade, you block basically 2 attacks. And so this is basically tanking damage for us by getting 1 of these. So that's one thing to consider. And then from that, because they're focusing here, that kind of allows me time to deal damage from Luvada and Aisha, like over the course of a few turns. So this is like a super strong showing of like why you should get the stockades here. And then on top of that, like we show that like, yeah, we're blocking off the entrance here such that like Pamina can just handle this bottom lane here without any worries of them getting up here. Because in general, I think these units are just going to try and gun for these top supplies, which is a little bit annoying, but the stockades are super helpful in diverting that. Also, if you do it this way, you can, I think, kind of push some of the units to go to this bottom lane where Pamina is. The only issue that I did have here with Pamina is that sometimes you'll get these bandit scours, and they can actually like do work on Pamina. And so if you can like knock them back with Pamina, which you can particularly easily do if you have something like the breakthrough spear, by like basically it interrupts them, then you should be okay. You should be okay. Other than that, that's basically like the strategy. Like as long as you, oh gosh, you can't exit out of that once you start it. Let me just pause over here. So once you do that, you should be good. So yeah, the top was definitely a practice of setting up barricades. The middle lane was definitely a practice of like being able to get a solo carry, which is Pamina for me, and then the bottom lane was basically just being able to stack enough with Inanna such that like you can easily just clear things while having like Flavia and her flower. Actually, Flavia and her flower actually did more damage than I would have even anticipated this game. I definitely put a lot of times the damage buff on Flavia's flower, so actually I do think it's quite strong here as well. I think Flavia, because she is 2 units kind of, makes it a little trickier to quantify the impact, because it feels like most of the damage is from the flower, and Flavia was actually the tank for the flower. So yeah, you can see they're just like taking their time destroying this, not taking their time hitting Aisha, which would have been definitely more dangerous for us, but it did allow us to do more damage with Luvada. Yeah, Luvada was super strong here. Yeah, and that basically, the damage from the flower is weakening them for Inanna on the bottom lane. Yeah, we're just like clearing there now. Here we go. I guess I can end up just like showing the whole thing. I guess I'll put out like an unlisted video for them. Otherwise, it's gonna be like quite long and annoying. Just like go through the whole thing. So we'll end up doing that. We'll do that off stream if anyone cares about that. Yeah, just one thing to make sure to note is that like if you don't have a Rauya, well, let me pause this. If you don't have a Rauya here, because Rauya has been super strong by like doing the frontline deployment, on top of like the healing and just like going back, is like getting another unit that can have that sort of mobility and provide cross map assistance. So like I am using Rauya here, but in this case I think another strong unit would be something like an Afra, or someone that can just like do something to the whole team passively without sort of being by them, right? So that's why I think it's good to have like, I don't know, units that just do something passively across the, I don't know. I mean, of course that's good, right? But like specifically here, because you definitely want to make supplies for these barricades. Like these are doing so much work for me. And I think that's like the name of the game here is, I think while most people can like brute force this, the barricades here help so much. It's so stronger. So actually doing that is gonna be super helpful. Oh wow, I didn't know this like little fire here. Interesting. So yeah, that's strong. Okay, so we'll kind of just leave it there, and we'll list the videos in the, I don't know, we'll list it in like the comment section or something if anyone wants to see those. Otherwise, I think I'll get the point, right? I'll get the point. So let's exit from there, and let's go over what we got. Okay, so we got, on top of like the 100 shards, so I think stage 6 and stage 7s are the ones that have the bonus rewards. So you have like, you know, the usual, the 300 Luxite, the 100 Astral Shards, and then like the rest of the goodies. So 200 from these, and then we end up getting another 100 from here, so 300 total Astral Shards, and then we got some like unnamed General Ascension emblems and engravings. Honestly, we made out really big here. Like this was huge. Yeah, shout out to Rico also for being amazing